You there, young man, boy, you with the facial hair and the headphones.
Me?
Come here. Come here. What day is it? What day is it, young man?
Why, it's Christmas Day, sir.
Oh my, Christmas Day, yes it is. I'm as happy as a schoolgirl. I'm as giddy as a guy in a locker. Listen, I want you to go down to the finest McDonald's and get me the finest of McRibs, the fattest of McRibs, and bring it to the family of... Bring it to my house because I'm starving. Here's a nickel, boy. Here.
I'm not going to do that. No.
But it's podcast
You got me
day.
all excited about a Christmas Carol playing.
It's a podcast, Carol. I was visited by 3 podcast ghosts last night. I really was.
Nice. Okay.
The ghost of Podcast Past was the weird because I could hardly hear him or see him, and he kept doing this. He just kept freezing.
Dumbest ghosts ever if they're from the podcast ghosts.
There you go. And how needy is Jim Carrey that not only does he play Scrooge in the CGI animated version, but also the ghost of Christmas Past?
Does he really?
Present? Past? The big guy.
Oh.
Is that past?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
I don't know. Present, whatever. Anyway, I'm surprised he didn't play Jacob Marley too, and, the ghost of Christmas Future.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thanks to the Mickey Mouse one, I always thought the Ghost of Christmas Future looked like a big old cat chewing a cigar.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, did you have a good Christmas, Mr. Matches?
Oh, it was a splendid Christmas, Mr. Shannon.
Oh, good. Well, that leads me into a question I wanted to ask you. And I know I'm putting you on the spot, but that's what we do here at NOMS Podcast, which stands for...
Nerding Out with Matches and Shannon.
That's what we are, and that's what we do. So my question for you is, what was one of your favorite Christmas present memories that you got from Santa as a child or as a teenager? What is one that stands out to you as one of your favorites? I'm sure you got a list.
I do. Okay, well, we were 8 years old, and some 4 years prior, Star Wars toys were all the rage.
Yes.
And
true.
so I asked for the Ewok Village that our neighbors had. And I had seen it not long before at the toy store in the mall. It was on clearance, probably. It was up on a shelf, whatever. Wow. But apparently my parents couldn't find it. And so we opened like 85 presents. At the end of it, we look over, and there's a dog sitting under the tree. There's a puppy. There's a little Cocker Spaniel. We're
like a real live puppy?
And our parents were like, did you get everything you wanted this year? And I said... There's only one problem. No Ewok Village.
You have told me that story before, and it is a wonderful story.
Yeah, and I was so disappointed, but they looked everywhere. They were like, Santa looked everywhere. He couldn't find it. We looked everywhere. We couldn't find it. All that kind of stuff. So years later, fast forward to we're at Shannon's house, and I'm about to leave for Disney World. And the crew had gotten together to get me a used Ewok Village from eBay.
That's right.
God, I wish I knew where that was. I think that got lost in our parents' house somewhere.
No.
I don't have it anymore, but...
Me and my mom, we also bought some toys to go with it, But on purpose,
Yeah.
I think I bought non-Star Wars toys. Just for fun. Yeah. I got you a Mary Jane from the Spider-Man movie. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yes. That's so funny.
I know. My mom was like, we're going to see what we can do.
No, that was so sweet. I loved it. It was the best.
So every Christmas after that, did you jokingly ask for a Ewok Village, or was I wrong? Did I hear that?
One year I asked, the only thing I asked for was Star Wars Monopoly. I'd seen Star Wars Monopoly.
Whoa!
This is in the 2000s sometime. I can't remember. Okay. But I opened up the few presents my mom got me that year, and I was like, there's only one problem. No Star Wars Monopoly. And she was like, what? You didn't get Star Wars Monopoly? She was like, let me go check my closet. So she went and checked her closet. She'd forgotten to wrap it. And it was still there the whole time. And I was like, it's always something Star Wars. And I'm not even that big. I mean, I like Star Wars. But it's great.
It's
but I'm not the biggest Star Wars nerd,
Right. You don't know every single character and their home planet they're from. And
No,
right?
I really don't. I mean, I know a lot, but most of it I've forgotten already,
Like if I were to say Wedge Antilles. No, I'm just kidding.
I know the name.
Uh-huh.
It's my favorite salad.
I had a Bo-Katan before I got here.
I had a wedge and Tilly's with blue cheese dressing.
What a very unfortunate name, Wedge. That is so funny.
It's true.
That is such a great story. I love that story. You told me that when we were in college, and I was just like, no Ewok Village.
It was awesome. Just out of nowhere that Chuck got it for me. That was so cool.
You are welcome. I do remember that party because my mamaw was there, and you guys loved my mamaw, but you didn't know the kind of fun relationship that me and my mamaw had because
I know what you're about to say.
Yes, because your mom and you and your brother are in the living room. I go up to my mamaw and I say, Mamaw, I got some bad news. We're going to have to put you down. And your mom was like, oh my gosh. And was
our mom there too?
Your mom was there, yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Yeah.
And I hear my mom from the kitchen going, Shannon. And Mamaw, without missing a beat, goes like this. She goes, I'd like to see you try, boy.
Yeah. That was good. Like, I don't remember anything, but I remember that. Like,
you do remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I knew exactly what you were going to say.
Yes, because your mom was like, okay. And I was like, that's what we do. We joke around. Yeah, that's awesome.
It was much years later when she got put down. So, okay.
Oh, jeez, that's right.
Sorry.
But she's... Well, I do.
My mom too.
I do remember at the funeral, of her funeral, your brother was there, and he said the funniest thing that made me feel so much better. I don't know if he meant to, but they're putting her her casket in the thing, and I said, how she had, unfortunately gotten a stroke at a family reunion with all her brothers and sister there, and I said that's the way she probably would have wanted to go out, and I meant with family. And your brother, without missing a beat, goes, in a Hummer. And that made me laugh so hard. And that was what I needed because...
Wait, was she really in a Hummer?
A Hummer. Oh, it was like a Hummer hearse.
Oh, I got you.
Sorry.
Okay.
I should have prefaced that, audience.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the part. Yeah,
I'm so sorry. Let's rewind that. Hey, producer, can you edit that in? She was put to rest in a Hummer hearse.
Nope, we're live this week.
Oh, that's right. Crap. No editing. I do know my mamaw has been looking down on me for years and probably now going, boy. So,
probably, yeah.
Good times. But speaking of good times, we got a great time for you tonight. We've got a little wumsy. We're done with Christmas, so we're going to start a whole new year. We're going to start a whole new chapter. And all it's going to take us to start it is just a small amount of money. Do you know what amount of money it's going to take for us to do this podcast tonight?
$17.96.
No, $2. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen.
$2.
We are doing the cult classic. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you haven't. It's a great John Cusack movie, whether he says so or not. We're doing Better Off Dead from 1985. Directed and written at the same time, yes, by Savage Steve Holland. That is the name he goes by, Savage Steve Holland. And in case you're wondering...
I've always loved seeing that name.
I know, right? It's like, is Savage his first name and Steve is his middle name? Probably.
Like that. Yeah.
In case you're wondering if you've seen that name before, he created what I think is one of the greatest crazy 90s cartoons ever called Eek the Cat. And this guy, I don't know how many other movies or TV he did, but he did a 1-2 punch with this movie and one of my former video movie corner pick of the weeks, One Crazy Summer.
Girl, you are crazy.
I got you. So, and on the show, oh my gosh. Oh, by the way, it's going to be a new year tomorrow, guys. Are you ready? 2027 in the house.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Shannon. It's almost time.
I know, Matches. May all the podcasts be forgot except for NOMS. For NOMS. And this podcast stands out because we have two sidekicks that have already done the show without us. And we're catching up to us. Who is that, Matches? Who do we go to every week for reviews?
Oh, yes. Siskel Ebert, duh. Oh, my God. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
God.
Don't worry. We'll edit this whole thing to make it look really slick. Yeah.
I was thinking Lindsay Lohan and Lindsay Lohan in The Parent Trap.
No. Oh, the twins. Yeah, I always wondered what happened to her twin sister and Haley Mills' twin sister. Weird. I don't know where they went to. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to have Siskel and Ebert help us out. And I can't believe they reviewed this movie. I'm actually very shocked. I thought they would have just left this movie in the dust.
Well, I know critics initially hated this movie, so I do not have high hopes that they're going to like it at all.
But, I mean, maybe they didn't get it because I bet people went into it thinking it was a normal 80s teen comedy, and it was not.
Not at all. No, it was actually funny. Weird and wacky is what it is. It's grounded in all the right ways, I think, and it's just silly in all the right ways.
It is. It is totally. It is grounded, and yet it's not. And that's what makes it so good. Like, it's not off the rails, but it's skidding.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well,
I guess with no further ado, let's
let's get into the review.
What's
I was just saying, let's get into the review.
That's what I was going to say. Let's enjoy Better Off Dead with NOMS.
Oh, yeah.
I love that sound. I love the little popcorn, the VCR tape popping in. That's pretty awesome.
The bubbly, yeah.
Yeah, the bubbly. One day we're going to have to get really modern and get a Betamax. Do you ever watch Betamax matches?
I never did. No, we just had a VCR when they came out, I guess. So
Okay. When did you guys get your VCR?
Oh gosh,
do you remember?
It was mid to late 80s, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
I feel like
mid-80s.
we weren't behind the pack, but we were in the middle of the pack. We finally got one in 1986. And
we probably did the same around 85, 86, I think.
Yeah. You would have thought we were getting a pool. I was so excited. I was telling all my friends that didn't. Oh, yeah. I was telling all my friends that didn't have one to come over. I was like, come on over. We'll put movies in.
Yeah. Well, I bought my DVD player a year before anybody else had one. It cost $500. And the next year, the same one cost $79.95.
Oh.
And it was everywhere.
And I feel like in 2001, half of everyone got a PlayStation 2. And they could play DVDs, and so everybody, because on cue, a lot more people were coming in to buy DVDs.
You didn't even need the DVD player extension.
But didn't that degrade the life of the PlayStation 2? Am I wrong? I thought that's what I heard.
I don't know. I know that the PlayStation 2 was so technologically advanced that
it was
that the government ordered hundreds of thousands of them for their chips and things inside of it. Yeah, I'm serious. Also, Saddam Hussein did the same thing. They had better technology than the government had at the time.
I must play Conker's Bad Fur Day. They
were using the insides, for government stuff, I guess.
Dude, that is hilarious. Like MacGyvering and stuff. That's so funny.
That's true. Yeah.
That's so cool.
But Better Off Dead. That's our movie this week. What's your take on this? When did you first see this, Shannon?
Oh man, I'm so glad you asked. Okay, it was probably before 7th grade, so maybe 88, 89. And my sister rented it. When we first got our VCR, we rented movies from a place called Curtis Mathis in El Dorado. And it was a technology store that also rented videos. Yeah. And and they had this deal where you could rent 7 videos for 7 days. None of them could be new releases, but that was okay. We were new to the VCR game anyway. Yeah. We rented it, we watched it, and from one of the first shots where John Cusack playing the character Lane Meyer. Great name, right? Lane Meyer. Yeah, from the minute he woke up, went into his closet, and opened it up, and you see all these shirts on racks with the face of his girlfriend on each hanger. Do you remember that?
Yeah, you're like, this guy is me. When I get a girlfriend, this is my closet. I identify with Lane Meyer.
I build my world around you.
Oh yeah, that is a really funny bit. Like, you know how it is to be in love and a teenager. Your hormones are going crazy. And you are just like, love her. I love her. I'm gonna put her on everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's everything. I love her. And then you break up, but there's Lucy. There's Sarah. There's Devonia. But yeah, you're right.
I remember Devonia.
Yeah, Devonia was great. Yeah. So, wasn't she a bad guy in a James Bond movie? Anyway, so so you're right. You captured that perfectly. It does capture teenage love in a very extreme, funny, quirky way. And later, well, just a few minutes later, we find his life is literally revolved around his girlfriend Beth. And Beth is played by who, Matches? What legendary actress that has legendary status is playing Beth?
I know this. Is this on the test? Is this on the quiz later?
Yeah. This will be for all.
Okay,
this will be for the curve. This will be the bonus question.
Her name, I think her last name is Weiss. Is it Amanda Weiss?
Is that how you pronounce it?
Weiss?
I don't know. I've never actually heard it pronounced.
It's W-Y-S-S. I just called it. I just said Weiss, but I don't know if that's right.
I always said Wiss all these years. Amanda Wiss. Maybe it is Amanda Weiss.
I mean, either way, yeah.
Hey, Amanda Wiss, if you're out there, listen to the end of the show and contact us and let us know how you pronounce it. We would love to have you.
Amanda Weiss, if you're out there, just go.
Yeah, either one, twin sister, Wiss or Weiss. So why is Amanda Weiss so famous? Matches. What is she legendary for being the first what?
She was the first victim of Freddy Krueger in A Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984.
I think so. It was before this movie. Yeah.
Yep. Right before this movie. Yep.
And not just the first victim, but just the most, at the time, just one of the most violent, shocking. This girl,
that was a big one. They didn't hold back on that first one.
No, that's when you knew, this movie's going to be something. I bet Johnny Depp's going to disappear inside a bed and turn into blood.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I didn't see Freddy movies when I was that age because I was scared of him already, and I'd never seen the movies, just the trailers and stuff.
Yes, okay. Nightmare 2, I guess it came out around 85 or whatever. That trailer scared the teetotal heck out of me because they couldn't play it until like 9 o'clock on TV.
Yeah.
Unlike today when you can see a YouTube video about Miss Rachel and like coming soon, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It 3. Yeah, so that trailer scared me. And then the face of Freddy Krueger scared me in all the videos. In the video store.
Oh, yeah.
So when my sister had a sleepover with her friends around 87, 88, and they decided they were going to marathon all the Nightmare movies that were out by then, I was little Shannon was in his room. And little Shannon would walk down the hallway to get a snack. And I'd be like this, you guys having a good time? You guys having a good time?
Did you really?
And that's what I saw. I saw Amanda Wiss climbing and crawling up the ceiling.
Oh no!
That is not what little Shannon needs. But then I saw the movie
that is
again
nightmare
later.
fuel for a tiny tyke. Yeah.
Do I? Oh, that's a lot. But then by 7th grade, I realized the movie was wonderful and great, and it is one of my favorite horror movies to this day. Yeah. But I think that scene might have been inspired by Jaws a little. If you think about it, you got the female victim being kind of thrashed around and stuff by an unseen assailant.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but he's obsessed with his girlfriend Beth. But just a few minutes into the movie, what does Beth tell him, Matches?
She tells him that she can't see herself with him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, she needs to be with someone more popular that drives a better car. Mm-hmm. She's what's the word?
Status driven. A climber.
Shallow.
That's a good one. Yes, shallow's good. Yeah, so she'd rather be with Roy, the captain of the ski team, which apparently is very big in school. I remember as a kid, I was like, they have a ski team?
Ski team? Yeah. It's like finding out people have a rugby team. You're like, really?
Yeah. Or a tennis team. A rugby team. Yeah. It happens. So Lane Meyer's life, since it was built around Beth, just disintegrates. And, by the way, do you know what Roy's last name is in the movie? It's Stalin. Stalin. I don't know if they pronounce it that way.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, it's a trigger warning, everyone. There are depictions of suicide in Better Off Dead.
Yes.
It's semi-autobiographical, though, and something that Savage D. Pollan actually kind of went through in high school, being dumped and feeling this way. And depiction of the mom is exactly like his mom, he said. She's always like, I tried this recipe, but I didn't have this ingredient or that ingredient, or I substituted this, so I hope it's good. And so in one year, she actually gave him like TV dinners and stuff. Remember, you like the peaches in this one, like the mom does in Better Off Dead.
Really?
He's like, he just remembers thinking, this is my life. All of that is true, yeah.
That's what Lane Meyer went through. I can't wait to talk about the mom's cooking. I want to save that for later, but that's funny.
That actress is amazing.
That is so funny. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, okay, at one point... Okay, so the mom is depicted as like a horrible cook, but not just like, I accidentally put sugar in the soup. No, at one point there are tentacles flying out of a pot that she is stirring. Yeah. And then she mixes something with raisins in it that looks like a weird gelatin thing, and it crawls off.
Like,
John,
what does she say? It's not like other things. It has things you actually like in it. It has raisins in it.
Yes, and she does say that. I
so
got the recipe.
Yeah, she's not quite so there. I love her.
That is so funny. Yeah. No, this movie does have depiction. I was going to say, this movie, like, at the time, I guess they didn't find it as serious, even though that was happening. But it's comically, because he's not really putting the full effort into doing it, into trying to.
Yeah. And the tagline used to be, you're probably better off dead, or something like that.
Yeah.
But even back then, they had him change it to, you're not better off dead.
Which is true. Which is true.
Even back then, they had that change, so that's kind of cool, I guess.
That is. Well, you might remember when in 1994, when I was a senior, there was a popular song called "If You Don't Love Me, I'll Kill Myself" by Pete Droge.
Oh yeah,
yeah, from the Dumb and Dumber soundtrack. And at first, when I heard it, I was like, "This is a great song." And then he sings the chorus: "If you don't love me, I kill myself." And I was like,
oh, it got so less fun, yeah.
Yeah, well, I read the thing behind the song, and he says it's from a kid's point of view, like a young, like, oh, my life is over. You don't love me, I kill myself. And I don't think that's anything you can joke about anymore.
Better Off Dead is self-aware enough in this. The funniest part at the beginning is when Lane ties like a cord around his neck in the garage, and he's kind of like on the steps to the garage going up into the kitchen door or whatever.
Yes.
And he's like, wait a minute, what am I doing? This is death here. I haven't even seen New York. I haven't seen anything. And he's like trying to take it off when his mom's vacuuming and busts through the door, and he's hanging there trying to get it off.
Oh my gosh.
It is so good. The mom has no idea what's happening.
So you and I love this movie, and a whole bunch of people we know love this movie. By the way, I meant to say, I'm sorry. Yeah. We rented it on the VHS tape. Yeah. Me and my sister, this was one of our movies that we watched over, and we'd rent it anytime, and we'd quote it.
Really?
Yeah, my sister, she would look at me sometimes on the other side of the car and be like, Lane Meyer, you know?
Oh, and that's so good, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was a Shannon family extravaganza. So, but nice. I want to know what a different family thought about this movie. What about the brothers Siskel and Ebert? What do you think they thought?
I don't think they liked it. I don't have high hopes. This, because both of those movies weren't critically well received, and they didn't do well at the box office at all.
Which
they
ones?
did better later. Both of them, One Crazy Summer and Better Off Dead, both failed miserably and got picked up on VHS later.
And cable,
cult classics. Yeah, so much later. But when it was kind of like the first time I saw Billy Madison when I was 15 or so. I'd never really seen anything like that, and I didn't get it. The first time in the theater, I didn't like it. I didn't get it. I didn't know what that was. And then later, I was watching a VHS, of course, and I was like,
really?
Oh, that's really funny. I get it. Like, I just never seen anything like that before.
Well, I was expecting a normal movie, too. I don't even know if I'd seen a trailer. Yeah. I was like, oh, Adam Sandler starring in a movie. I went and see it, and the same thing as you. I was like, well, kind of, because I was like, what the heck is this? But I was laughing so hard, I loved it immediately. I went and saw it twice.
It's so funny. I absolutely loved it right after that. But I was just so caught off guard that I didn't know what to think.
You did not expect it. There are a lot of movies like that you're like, oh, I don't think I like this. And then you revisit and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Like Scott Pilgrim the first time I didn't like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. I thought, that was a swing and a miss, And then later I watched it. It became my favorite ever. So
Matches, he punched her highlights out.
I know. He punched the highlights
out of her hair.
That's so good.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of hair, Siskel doesn't have a lot. I don't have a lot. But let's see what he thought, along with Ebert, of Better Off Dead.
All right, let's do it.
Then not review it.
God, I love that song. Okay, I'm figuring out how to do this again. There we go.
We're definitely going to talk about that song later.
Go. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But now, kids, here we go.
But first, Roger begins with a summer holdover teenage film, just when we thought it was safe to go back into the movie theaters.
There's an old legend in show business, Gene, that you'll never have a hit if you put the word death or dead in the title. Well, that's not always the case. For example, look at Night of the Living Dead or Death of the Salesman. But it's certainly true about a new comedy named Better Off Dead, which has one of the most appropriate titles I've heard in a long time. The movie stars John Cusack, the impressive young actor from The Sure Thing, in a plot that is recycled straight out of a dozen other teenage movies, including The Sure Thing. He loves the wicked blonde girl, but the smart brunette loves him.
Have you met Monique?
Hi.
Now, can I...
I can't remember. What did he have in his hands there?
Was it some kind of fuel? It was like kerosene or some kind of lighter fluid.
Oh, that's right.
I think he was going to set
like
himself on fire, hence the rags and everything.
Yeah.
Because that plays into, and we'll talk about little Ricky and his overbearing mom in a little bit.
Oh, sorry, disgraced Ricky. Yes.
Yeah, we can talk about that too. I'll tell you how I feel about that too. But
right.
Ricky's mom, who is just extremely lovely and not overbearing at all, smokes all the time as some ladies did in the 80s. She's the kind of person who, when she doesn't have a cigarette, you still feel like smoke is coming out of her mouth.
Yes, exactly.
And she drinks the lighter fluid thinking it's some kind of hooch or something, and then she smokes a cigarette and she kind of blows up. She doesn't die.
It's funny because she's the only one that blows up, but they're all right there in close proximity. Everybody's like, no, wait.
She says something and then boom.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, the dad, played by David Ogden Stiers of MASH and Beauty and the Beast, Cogsworth.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
I still can't figure out if he was British or not.
Reminds me of the moonshine Ricky's dead happy used to make.
God bless him. No, wait. Really? That was Diane Franklin as a foreign exchange student there.
Really?
They were unimpressed.
Did he just sarcastically say thrilling?
I'm pretty sure when he said that, Ebert's eyes rolled back in his head like, ugh.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
They just didn't
they're
get
awful. No, I'm kidding. They didn't get it. No. But that just makes it even more funny, I think. Like, that adds a layer to that.
Yes, you know what? I wouldn't have gone into that whole thing if I'd known that was the clip they were going to show.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But this is 1985, so this is a year before they stopped showing so many clips, like the long clips. This is about a year before the Disney years, so we don't usually go back this far, unless we need to. But that's
Aaron, David Ogden Stiers is the father, and Kim Darby was the mother. Remember her from True Grit? The movie's not entirely without its ambitions. It wants to create a through-the-looking-glass view of a suburban family which can never quite get things right. For example, the newspaper boy specializes in throwing the paper through the garage window.
How many times do we see that?
I think about 9 times.
Yeah, that's about right.
And then when they get the window fixed, they pushes the button and the door goes down and the window breaks again, which you could have set your last dollar. Maybe the raw ingredients are there in this movie for a funny black comedy about suburbia, but Better Off Dead never, ever finds the right note, and this is one of those movies where you sit there saying, not only do I know what's going to happen, but it's going to be so boring that I won't even be amused by the fact that I knew it was going to happen.
I have almost nothing to say about the film other than I've seen it. I know I saw it. I've tried to not remember as much as possible. You mentioned the garage scene. I just want to repeat to people, it's the pattern of the film.
Yeah.
You see that the window broken once, you see it broken twice, you see it broken 3 times. That's the whole pattern of the movie. What did this director think was funny? That we would think it would be funny that when we didn't think that it was going to break, that it did break?
Well, for example,
doesn't that director realize that we all know it's going to break again? And doesn't that director realize that that's stupid and that he makes himself look
for example,
stupid?
the whole idea of the newspaper carrier, just to take one little element in the film, this kid who rides by every day breaking the window is even in the last shot of the movie as if he is some kind of Fellini-esque alter ego.
Don't use the word Fellini anywhere near this film.
Spoiler!
I'm sorry. I really must apologize to Fellini and to Eugene for doing that. This is a real bad movie, and I think you put your finger right on it when you said you could barely remember it. If I had totally forgotten it, I'd be a happy man.
Very good. New definition of a bad.
My gosh, they savaged Steve Holland this movie, didn't they?
They did. That's wild. Because, even since I saw this maybe in college, so I was over 18 when I saw this. Maybe around 18, 19, 20.
Is that the first time you saw it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I liked it since then. I liked it now.
Yeah.
I had the best time watching it this weekend. I don't get it. Like, because it's just kind of wild and wacky. It's predictable in all the right ways. Of course, the glass is going to break when he doesn't want it to. That's what makes it funny. Like,
yes. I mean, what, did they only have an acceptable number of times? Like, after 2 times, it's just repetitive.
Everything else until the very, very end is so zany and out there and detail oriented that I think this movie's got a lot going for it. Like, there's a lot of attention to detail here.
And I'm sorry it wasn't a dark satire of suburbia. You know?
I'm sorry that Savage Steve Holland stopped making movies after these two. Like,
why? He did Eek the Cat in the 90s, and was that it?
And he directed an episode or 2 or however many episodes of every Nickelodeon and Disney show from the 90s to the 2000s, from Lizzie McGuire to Zoe 101. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So that's what? Wait, really? I thought Schneider.
Yeah.
I thought Little Ricky directed those. He just make them.
No, he was the producer, and he was the guy that was behind the scenes, like, creating all the shows. And they're making sure everybody was, doing the job, or else they got fired,
Bakery.
Yeah, but he was coming in to direct some of these. Like, they had different directors probably every time,
Okay. Speaking of, let's just say real quick, let's just get this out of the way. Dan Schneider, who played the slovenly, very, very slow-moving neighbor Ricky, in this movie.
He was also Dennis in Head of the Class, right?
Well, I was about to say, I used to love the fact that he was Ricky, and then went on to be Smart Aleck Dennis, and then he went on to just like pretty much own Nickelodeon for almost 20 years, creating all those kid cops.
He was a beloved character in these movies.
And I was like, wow, good for him. He's done so great things. Yeah. And now you're hearing that he might be a creep.
Yeah. I mean, there's no concrete evidence yet, but the feet stuff and the weird stuff with the kids, we don't like that here on NOMS Podcast.
No, we do not.
We frown upon it.
And here's the thing. I might have been a bit too old to see in these Nickelodeon shows, but if it was on TV, I watched it. The thing I noticed about these kid coms that were made by Dan Schneider, and I know this is going to sound like I'm a cranky old parent, and maybe I am, but the parents were always disrespected. Like, to the extreme. More than 80s and 90s dads were, I accidentally unplugged the thing,
Oh, really?
They were extremely disrespected. Sometimes jokes would go in there that kids and young teens should not know about.
Huh.
Like, for instance...
It's fun for adults. Oh, that's a little thing they put in there, but maybe they shouldn't be doing this.
Exactly. Like, for instance, in Zoe 101, the bad boy had a shirt that said, I spent one night in Paris. And I'm not even going to say what that meant.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. And then there was that weird 9-month stretch in Zoe 101 where she disappeared. Where was she? Anyway. So anyway.
That true?
No, that was my joke when they found out that Jamie Lynn Spears was pregnant at 16.
The guy created some incredible shows, though. But
yeah, no, he did. He did some.
But what went on behind the scenes that was not good. Like to him,
but he gave us
of them and everything else.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. He did give us Miranda Cosgrove and Josh. Yeah. Oh gosh, what's his name? Who plays Josh?
Oh gosh,
I know. I'm blank.
I know his name.
Funny guy.
Drake.
No,
Josh.
Not Drake. We don't like Drake.
Nope. Oh yeah, not that one. The other one. Drake. Yeah, Drake.
No,
Drake.
No. Anyway. So they did not like this movie. Is that the hint you're getting?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting from that 4-minute fest of meanness.
Oh my gosh! Oh no, he hit the window again. But see, that's what makes this movie great, because you think it's going to be a normal teen family movie, and it is anything but. Because again, you do have and it took me like 10 minutes into the movie to realize this wasn't going to be normal, even at the age of 11. You got the paperboy who aims through their window. David Allen and David Ogden. Is it Stiers? I always thought it was Steers. But if Siskel calls it Stiers. Yes. Well, you got
He's just guessing.
Yeah, I think he's making it up as he goes along. John Cusack, Yeah, but the dad's always trying to stop the paperboy, because doesn't he catch the paper one day and be like, "You missed," or something like that? I think that happens.
He twists he tries to get the garage to open or whatever. Yeah, and it goes off against the garage, not the window. And then I guess he catches it, and he's like, "You missed!" And then that's when he closes the garage door, goes inside, it just slams down, and everything breaks again.
Yes. You got the Psycho Paperboy, and by the way, they spoiled the part that I was going to champion at the end.
Yeah.
At some point in the movie, the paperboy comes up to the house and tells John Cusack that, I've been delivering these papers all to you, and I want my fee, and it comes to a total of $2. $2. So when they say they're not going to pay him, what does that paperboy do, Matches?
Well, he proceeds to stalk him for the rest of the movie, screaming,
Literally.
$2.
At one point,
$2. And you might have seen the meme of The Price is Right. Have you seen this? Where they there's like, 3 people, and then they have their little buzzers or whatever, and they're things with the numbers on them, I guess, the prices. And they have the paperboy in the middle, and it says 2 on it for $2.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
If
you didn't see this movie, you're not going to get that at all.
No, that would make no sense to you at all. In fact, someone yelling out $2 wouldn't make you laugh. But if you've seen
but I
it,
guarantee you're in public or with friends and stuff, and you say $2, someone's going to point at you and be like, yeah, I know what you're doing. I know. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You better off. Well, at one point, Cusack, he's leaving the school dance, and the paperboy starts going after him, and he's got an army of paperboys. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
On bikes?
That's so funny. Yeah.
And they're all yelling, $2, and they chase him through, the
I
field.
thought the camera cuts on that were just perfect, because he'd look over here, there's another one, and he looks back, and there's, so many more than there were before, and it's so effective. It's so funny.
It is so funny. And then towards the end, and we'll go ahead and spoil the end, at the end when he's having the ski off with Stalin, the paperboy shows up on a bike that's got skis on it. And he's like, $2.
Yeah.
And then in a scene that my mom thought went too far, the paperboy slides off the mountain. Ah!
Yeah, but he gets back up after. So
He does live.
they do cut back to him. It's like, oh, he lived. Okay.
Yeah. Because at the very end, when, spoiler alert again, Lane Meyer is making out with the cute French girl in Dodger Stadium, you see the paperboy biking towards him.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's
Siskel
great.
kind of spoiled it, yeah.
$2.
$2. Oh, that's classic. I think he was wrong, though, about the whole, he loves the blonde, but the brunette friend loves him. First off, wasn't she kind of a redhead?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's darker, but yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah.
A brunette, reddish, kind of a thing going on.
Well, that girl is Monique, the French exchange student, staying over, unfortunately, at Ricky at his mom's house.
Yeah.
And it's revealed halfway during the movie that she does understand English and does speak English, but she doesn't want to communicate with either of them.
Yeah.
Because the mom
I like how John
literally-
Cusack says, that's really smart. I like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she says, I'm just going to say this, sorry, Mom. She says, he's like an octopus, always trying to put his testicles all over me, hug me with his testicles. She means tentacles. She means tentacles.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And the mom's trying to hook him up. Do you remember that? As soon as she's there, she's like, you'd make a nice companion for my little Ricky.
Oh, yeah. She's a monster. And that woman is a hell of an actress. Because I think she's really good at this. She's really good at this annoying mother, overbearing mother.
Oh my gosh, yes. She's so good at that. So Lane Meyer has a desire to be on the ski team, and of course Roy won't let him on because he's the captain. Yeah. And so towards the end, he challenges him because Roy makes fun of Monique, and he's starting to like Monique, and Monique's starting to like him, and Monique helps him restore his old car that he's left in the driveway for years. Remember that? He's just ignored this. I think it's Camaro, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he challenges them to ski, and he's like, the winner gets to be the captain of the ski team,
Yeah. They've made fun of movies like this in South Park and things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pizza, French fries. Pizza.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite episodes of South Park.
It's good. It's really good.
Because they have to save the teen center. Yeah. It's so good. But there's so many great characters in this movie. We haven't even talked about his brother, Badger. He's like 10 or 12.
That's right. Yeah, his brother is fantastic. He's like this genius kid who's more adult than anyone realizes, I think.
Way more. In fact, he's always sending... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just did way ahead of his time.
Oh yeah. A star turn. He's always sitting away for these how-to kits and how-to books, and
Yeah.
I think he makes a laser. And at one point, John Cusack goes in his room, and he's in like a Hugh Hefner type, lounging outfit with all these hot women.
Yeah, because the mailman, and it's one of my favorite day players that plays the mailman.
Taylor
He's in
Negron.
everything. That guy, you know what I'm talking about?
Taylor Negron, yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, and everything that guy's been in. But he brings him, what is it? It's a copy of How to Pick Up Women or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a book on how to pick up women. I do like it when the laser is actually real. It's like, why do you spend so much time with all this kid stuff? You seem like a smart guy. He just like points the laser at the box and it goes, blows up.
Yeah. And Badger never says a word.
No, he doesn't. But I like how he's cut out all the like UPC symbols off the boxes of the cereal. So when you pick it up out of the cabinet, it just falls out.
Yes.
That's what he's.
And the mom doesn't even notice.
Can't you wait till they?
Oh, this movie's got so much funny. Like Lane Meyer, like his life is so wrapped around Beth. The whole town knows they're together. So when they break up, do you remember he's driving in his car and the radio keeps every station he turns to keeps having a breakup song?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
By the way, the budget of this movie must have gone into the soundtrack because almost every song on this is a banger. I just want to say it's a wonderful soundtrack.
Oh, it is. It is, because I would like to talk about the dancing hamburger sequence if we can.
Oh yeah, we can, and I know for reason he was very scared no one was going to like this, and I think the studio was scared no one was going to like it. But it tested the highest out of anything in the movie.
That part.
That part did. People loved it because Savage Steve Holland is an animator, and he's also, I guess he can do stop motion and things like that.
Yes, yes, because One Crazy Summer, John Cusack's, his character wants to be an animator, wants to be a cartoonist.
Yeah, and he draws in this one too, so yeah.
You can tell. No, it's so funny because like... Yeah, the soundtrack, the dancing hamburger scene. So John Cusack's character works at Pig Burger.
Yeah.
And you've got like the nastiest boss, who's like putting his hands on the patties. He's like, here's how you do it. And so all of a sudden John Cusack hallucinates the patty getting up and singing Van Halen's Everybody Wants Some.
Well, first he does this little Dr. Frankenstein bit where he's working on it. And it comes to life. He's like, it's alive. Which sends the motion a really, really great stop motion sequence, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's watching
just out of nowhere, there's Van Halen.
Right. And that was the first time I'd ever heard that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I remember buying a Van Halen album in 1991, an older one. And all of a sudden that song plays. And I was like, it's the Lane Meyer song.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
I didn't know. Yeah. I was like, I know this song. It's the Burger Patty song.
Yeah. But the Burger Patty song.
Yeah. So Monique, she's trying to make the best of a bad situation, and she helps him restore the car. And we got to talk about his friend Curtis Armstrong. Booger from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes, I love
Curtis
Booger.
Armstrong, an '80s mainstay. If you can gather up 20 movies from the '80s, 10 of them will have Curtis Armstrong in it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He also went on to do a lot of voices for Savage Steve's cartoons, Eek the Cat and Terrible Thunder Lizards.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You can always tell it's his voice.
That's true. Yeah. I love that guy.
His friend talks about how their town is so podunk and little, you can't get good drugs. So do you remember he's always trying to snort or smoke something that's not a drug, like snow? He's trying to snort snow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's like, what do you think the street value of this is?
Yes. He's like, oh, my gosh.
It's like I've frozen my left side of my brain. I can't move my right arm. He's moving his right arm.
Yes. Oh, this movie's it's so great. It's so fun. And just
if you don't like stupid movies, and I know they're not stupid, but like I know people say, I don't like stupid movies.
It's stupid. Stupid.
This is the stupidest.
Yeah.
You're going to hate it because I love it.
Because this is the kind of movie I refer to as dumb fun. Like, this is
absolutely dumb fun.
Yeah. And apparently John Cusack, if you believe the news, did not like the movie at first because he confronted Savage Steve Holland while they were filming One Crazy Summer. he saw a screening of Better Off Dead, and he told Savage Steve Holland, and I have the quote here. I would like to quote it verbatim if I can.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Let's see. It's the worst thing I have ever seen. I will never trust you as a director ever again, so don't speak to me, is allegedly what he told Savage Steve Holland.
Okay. I thought there was a little more to it, but maybe that's it.
That's what I'm reading off of Wikipedia. I could be wrong. And Savage Steve Holland claimed that made him not want to film movies anymore.
Oh, wow.
Because he felt so down. But now, didn't you say Cusack now says
he doesn't remember that, and he's glad it's a cult classic and that people like it now. So
yeah, he says
there's
if you like
Savage
it,
Steve Holland going, you could have told me that 40 years ago, buddy. Maybe I would have made some more movies, buddy.
Right. We could have had the greatest films of all time.
Yeah, we really could have. At least some silly business that we would love to get into. Yeah,
he had a great sense of humor. There are
but really, if you haven't seen Eat the Cat, y'all should see Eat the Cat. It was. I remember being really good. Cat.
It doesn't stream. I don't think it's on DVD. YouTube. Maybe you can
probably,
find old VHS recordings of it probably.
Yeah, do people still torrent things? Is that a thing? I don't know if that's legal. But
you'll see some Fox Kids commercials in between.
Disclaimer.
There are two things about this movie I really want to talk about before we're done, though. Number one, the Japanese Carr brothers.
Oh, absolutely. That guy's in the one main one that talks. He's in everything.
Chosen.
Yeah,
Chosen from
I love it.
If
you'll recognize him if you see him. He's been in so many things over the years.
Yeah.
Until now, I think.
Do you remember he showed up in Pearl Harbor for literally a minute?
Did he really?
Yes. It was the plane that was going to drop the bomb on Pearl Harbor, and the camera goes in and he's saying, let's pray that God's on our side or something like that. And you and I don't know if I feel like you and I were like, Chosen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Probably so. But yeah, that's great. I love it.
So
but that character is amazing because these two characters, or this one character of the two Asian men, learn to speak English by watching The Wild World of Sports, and I love these guys. They're super cool.
And so because of that, he sounds like legendary broadcaster Howard Cosell.
That's right. And actually, the original performance, he did that with a bit of an Asian accent, but they were afraid that no one would understand him, so they had someone dub over him, which sucks. And he was like, I mean, that's sad, but it's their movie. It's fine. But I was kind of disappointed. He does have a thick accent in
the Karate Kid movie and the Cobra Kai series. So, but
that's true.
I just thought
so
he
maybe
was really
it wasn't
good at doing that voice. Yeah. But for people who don't know, this car, all the time when John Cusack, when he's driving and he's at a red light, half the time, this car will pull up with the two brothers, and they want to race him. And the one brother's got, like, gloves. Yeah. They're announcing it like it's a race. And the other guy has a PA system, and he's always announcing it like Howard Cosell. He's like, Lane Meyer, a loser.
Yep. Absolutely, and the last time you see them, they're in the car with a couple of girls, Asian girls, and he pulls up in his Camaro that him and the French girl have just fixed up. Yep, and they're about to go. They're about to race, and so the Asians start putting their
girls have
helmets
too.
And the plane just goes, and they got their helmets just on, and they didn't even go, and so they take their helmets off and exit the car. They start to exit the car.
And the girls are gone. Yeah. Let's talk about the big dance. Okay, so Beth, of course, is there with Mr. Stalin just all over her. Blah, 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 blah. And what's happening at the dance matches? What kind of music are they dancing to?
They're dancing to some hot 80s music. Oh, this is one of my favorite title theme songs, I think, to a movie in the 80s. Yes. I love this song. It's banging. If you like 80s music, it is an 80s banger. And somebody is up there on stage singing it who looks a little familiar.
Well, I believe that is actress Elizabeth Daily, a.k.a. E.G. Daily, a.k.a. the hottie named Dottie from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, who I had a massive crush on.
I'm a rebel, Dottie.
That would be actress. Oh, yeah. E.G. Daily. Oh, yeah. She was in Valley Girl. I don't know if you remember that movie well. She was her friend. Yeah, and she was really good at time.
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
She's great. She's in tons of stuff. But a whole generation younger than us will remember her as Tommy Pickles from Rugrats.
Absolutely. And so many more voices she's done over the years, yeah. But, yeah, I didn't realize she was a singer until this movie. And she is a heck of a singer, y'all. She's very good. Yeah.
Okay, ready? You want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, how's it go?
Better off dead. Didn't live without you. I remember at OBU watching this with friends. I like your dance, by the way. I remember watching this with friends at OBU, and someone going, "Ladies and gentlemen, that is the name of this movie." You know, like, what's the name of this movie again?
Nice.
Oh, so good.
It's such a good song, though. I really like that. And there's another banger of a song that I always forget about until I see this movie. And what is it called? It's called Arrested by You.
That one.
And it's when him and the French girl are having their montage, and it's like, I've been arrested by you.
Okay, I remember it now. You're right. This soundtrack.
It's a cool little song. It's so moody and good. Like. They are absolutely great, yeah. Especially the ones I'd never heard before. This movie.
Before we get to the end of this review, I want to talk about the end of the movie after he beats Roy in the ski thing, and of course Beth, who's all about status, runs right to Lanemeyer because she thinks, "Oh, we're gonna get back together," and nope, he pushes her aside for Monique. But do you remember what happens after that? He has to fight for Monique. Do you remember? Yeah, Ricky's there to take
Ricky,
Monique.
Right?
Mother wants you to get in my car. Or something like that.
Yes, and then they have a showdown for a bit. Yeah, they really do.
Yes!
The skis.
Or is that what you call it?
Ski poles, that's what it was. Yeah, and Ricky ends up rolling on top of his mother, and they're laying on the ground like...
And I was just like, Ricky, get
like
her,
a turtle
Ricky. She's
with a shell,
But then Ricky gets a redemption because this sweet little girl with glasses comes and picks him up. They look at each other, fall instantly in love, and walk off, and the mom's like, Ricky, come back!
Yep. Yeah, they have the same exact hair. They look a lot alike. And they're going to live happily ever after in Creepo Land. Yes.
Yeah. Ricky gets a bit of a redemption with that. So, yeah, this movie's great. If you like a fun, it might have been ahead of its time. Because you talk about Billy Madison being, I don't know if subversive is the right word, or quirky, insane. It was kind of ahead of its time. Because I bet...
I'm just saying, if Airplane made as much money as it did back then, it was so successful, this movie should have been the same.
Airplane's a spoof movie.
If not better.
But I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Right.
Yeah, it's completely different. But, I'd say this is the best form of this comedy, and that's the best form of that comedy, maybe. Something like that. Yeah.
It should have done really well. If you don't have a big penchant for silly. I don't know how my wife feels about this movie, because I don't know if she's ever actually seen it. Because she has a... I should.
Oh, wow. You need to get on that.
Our marriage is a sham. I need to get her in the ways of Better Off Dead. But yeah, this movie is just so much fun. Like I said, me and my sister still quote it to this day, $2 and all that, and Lanemeyer. And it's just it's a fun movie if you ever get a chance to watch it. And John Cusack took himself way too seriously years after this, I think. It might have been Grosse Point Blank. That made him think.
Yeah. And he's been in some good stuff. I like that Stephen King adaptation, 1408. Oh my gosh, that was incredible. But they had two different versions, a theater version and a DVD version.
Had 50 different endings. Or 1408.
Yeah. Only one was good, I think.
Oh, and of course, one last thing in the ending.
That movie was
after Lanemeyer and Monique are kissing in the Dodger Stadium, Little Badger, something he's been working on the entire movie. He gets in a rocket ship that he built and flies out of their house. Yep. That's just the kind of movie it is, people. It's just fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
It is. Absolutely. Okay, well, what do you rate this?
I am going to rate this, let's see. I'm going to rate this 5 exploding Ricky's moms out of 5 exploding Ricky's moms with an extra hint of $2.
Yes. Oh, that's so good. Yay. I'm going to give this 5 raisin dinner surprises out of 5 raisin dinner surprises that just walk off the plate.
Rolls right on. Yeah, just starts crawling off his plate.
just slithers away.
Oh, that is where she's like, French fries. Or she's saying French, isn't she? French fries. French bread.
French fry. Yeah, she's saying French like she's trying to be
I want to
fancy
say,
and French.
they say Kim Darby was in True Grit. I want to say she was the young girl who was recruiting John Wayne, Rooster Cogburn, to go after the guy who killed her father. The original, not the Jeff.
Oh, really?
Version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The one that came much
both
later.
sit out
yeah,
of Fort Smith, Arkansas, though. There you go. Oh, fun fact. Yes, I know
Are you
it's totally
serious?
off the subject. Charles Portis, the author of True Grit, that novel and other novels, was from Mount
Mm-hmm.
Holly. He went to school in Mount Holly for a long time. I'm not making this up.
Are you serious?
Some people will claim he's El Dorado only, but no,
That's
he
cool.
spent some time in Mount Holly. Yeah, that's all we got.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Better Off Dead. I don't think it's streaming for free, but I think you could rent it or buy it and maybe find it on DVD.
Yeah, I rented it recently on sale for $5 on Fandango at home. You can also go on eBay and pick up the VHS or the DVD, I'm sure.
And how much would it cost on eBay?
Yeah. $2. Actually,
Yeah,
it's probably like $17.95 or something ridiculous. Yeah,
Awesome.
they're a bit inflated these
Well,
days.
we hope you enjoyed our little review of Better Off Dead than to not see this movie.
That's right. And
Bye. Oh,
that's
wait.
it for the review.
But are we freeze framing? Well, that is it for the review. But matches, it's a new year. Tomorrow, it's a new start. And I think it's time. That we finally take a serious look at the theme songs that I have been trying to attach to the show. Not one has seemed to work just yet.
Oh,
But
nice.
I think this is the one.
Not yet. Almost. We had some near hits and
almost
some near
was.
misses.
Yeah, we did. I think this one's going to do it. In fact, I'm so invested in this that I have called in a professional. I've called in a professional to do the theme song this week. Yeah. I just figured it was time.
Really?
This is a guy who's been in the news lately for good reasons, and I'll just let him take it away. Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, hey, everybody, I'm Bob Dylan, legendary music star Bob Dylan. Hello, Matches, it's good to see you. I'm Bob Dylan. I'm
Is
not
that-
Thurman Merman, don't you dare
Is
say
that Bob
it.
Dylan or Thurman
I am
Merman?
not. I'm also not any crazy fat character with big curly hair, so hush your mouth. I'm Bob Dylan, legendary folk and rock music artist, man.
Like
No,
Thurman
man,
Merman
Jack,
from
it's
Trick or Treat.
Bob Dylan. There's a new movie about me called Know Me Completely with Timmy Chandelier. Right?
Oh,
Timothy Chandelier. He's playing.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Complete
Yeah.
Unknown. Yeah, go see it. So listen, I got a theme song for you, and I think you're going to dig it. You ready? Here we go. Now, this might look like a ukulele,
oh,
but
is
I'm
that a
really fat
ukulele?
in real life. So this is the regular size guitar. Yeah, cameras. You ready? Ready.
Oh, okay. All right.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ready.
Live down, Siskel Ebert, live down. Why did Matches chilling? You're gonna live down, NOMS podcast. Thank you very much. And now I would like to plug in.
That's it. That's the one. That's the one we're going to
That's
use
the theme song?
every time from now on.
That's the theme song. Okay, and now I'd like to
did it.
plug in. Don't boo. Don't boo.
did it.
I'm going to plug in. I'll be right back. What just happened?
Okay.
I left to get a drink of water. What? Was that who I thought it was?
Did you? Bob Dylan just came on. Bob Dylan came on and threw down some
Dylan
NOMS
McDermott
pod
came through
magic
here?
is what he did.
No.
No. Bob Dylan
Do you mean
Chalamet.
legendary like a Rolling Stone, rainy dad Bob Dylan? Lay Bob Dylan? Do you?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes, of course I mean that.
I do.
You know that.
I do.
You know what
just
I'm
messing.
saying.
I'm just messing. Yeah, well, you may not know this. Hey, you may not know this, but Bob Dylan was the first official rock concert I ever went to. 1995? Little Rock? Oh!
Nope. 1996.
That's hilarious. Are you serious? That was your first rock concert?
Yeah, it was Kenny Wayne. Well, it was my first secular concert. Not counting, when I was a kid in church. So, but yeah, it was Kenny Wayne Shepherd opening up for Bob Dylan. And so at the end, he was doing his encores, and I kept yelling, "Do Hurricane, do Hurricane." And he looked down at me and he winks like that. And I was like, He didn't play
I
Hurricane,
think
but he
nothing would
winked
have been
at
better
me.
had he looked at you and been like, "This is the story of the hurricane."
But he was real off that night. Like, they either say he's really off or he's really on.
No.
Like, I couldn't understand a single lick of the guitar, not a single word he said. And when I saw him 15 years later, I understood every single word.
Maybe it's the older
to
you
every
get.
single song, and I heard it all, you know. So sometimes you get like, yeah, Dylan, and sometimes you get Bob Dylan, you know.
I
So
agree,
it
because
just
I didn't know when
depends.
some songs ended and some songs began. Like,
Yeah, because people
Yeah,
go like,
yeah.
hey, I
And I'm
think
like,
this
no,
is
I'm
Mr.
pretty sure he
Tambourine
said
Man.
Sylvia.
Ah, cool, okay. I know that one.
yeah. Well, I saw
Yeah.
Blue Rock, and I forget the name of the opening band, but they were awesome. It was the Ian something band, and they were like a blues rock band. And they were fantastic. Yeah. Ian
okay.
Moore. The Ian
Of course.
Moore. Yes, the Ian Moore band.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, yeah, I'd see mostly country artists, big country artists, and Southern gospel artists. I won't talk about that. My parents were a big fan of that. Anyway, moving on. Moving on.
Yep. Moving on. What do we have next, Shannon? I think we've got
Yeah, this is the last
one of our
the
favorite
year.
bits.
I think it's called
coming up.
the
Yeah.
Video Movie Corner.
Video
Pick of
movie
the-
corner, pick up the...
We'll fix it in post. I love it. Video Movie Corner Pick of the Week. What do we do with this section?
do.
Matches?
This week, this is part of the show every week that we pick a new or older video pick that maybe we don't cover from the years 1986 to 2006 from our friends Siskel and Ebert and Roper as well. We can pick anything we want to, you know, anything in there is fine too. And we can
'cause they-
probably
they
cover it
never-
later if they have a review of it. But usually I try to pick newer stuff or things from about 15 years ago, you know, within that time. And we tell people about it and tell them where they can watch it.
Because we love you and we want you to have the same love that we have. Yes, that's true. So, well, do you have one? Are you first?
No, I need you to go first.
Here,
so I
let me
can
look at
think
my
of it
TV real quick. I'm scared. My video movie pick of the week is Hallmark's. No, I'm kidding. Okay. My video movie corner pick of the week is a movie that came out, I believe, this year, and your brother has seen it, and I'm surprised you haven't. I just watched it last night. I didn't know what my video movie corner pick of the week was going to be.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Until I finally saw it. I saw this trailer
Yeah.
earlier this year. This is a movie that you think is a sequel to a beloved 90s romp, but it's not. It's just called Thelma, starring June Squibb. Now, I know what you're thinking. At the end of Thelma and Louise, is she the only one who survived the car crash and she went on to live a good life and have a family? No, not the same Thelma. This is a great comedy drama, and I would say action film. It's like an action film with senior citizens, not in a demeaning way. Thelma is this 90-something-year-old grandma.
Yeah.
Her daughter's played by Parker Posey. Parker Posey. And Clark
love her.
Gregg, I
We
think,
love
the
her.
guy from S.H.I.E.L.D., the guy from Marvel. Love him. Plays her son-in-law.
Jill.
And her grandson, who I don't know by name, but I think your brother does. He says he's kind of an up-and-coming guy. He's great in the movie. So she's really close to her grandson.
Yeah.
He teaches her technology, how to use her phone, how to click on emails. And the movie starts off kind of slow
that's
because
great.
it's just this wonderful little study of this wonderful woman who's embracing her age and living life. And then all of a sudden she gets a call from her grandson saying that he needs money because he's in jail. And she's like, "Why do you sound different?" And he's like, "I broke my nose, Grandma." So she sends like $10,000 of her money to this address, only to find out her grandson is fine. It's a scam.
No.
Now,
This happened to
wait,
our
wait,
grandparents,
what?
actually. My papa and his later wife. My papa and his later wife, Millie. It literally happened to them.
I did not know this.
Yeah, a guy called from Mexico claiming to be her grandson.
Oh my gosh.
Someone that we know, I guess. Was kind of our step cousin, I guess. And sounded just like him. You know, kind of. They thought so, and they're like, "Oh gosh, what are you doing there?" It's like, if I call mom and dad, you know, they're going to be so mad, and you know, it's like, I just need you to send $5,000.
No.
And so they sent $5,000. Yeah, mom told me this
Oh my
a long
gosh,
time
that's
ago, but it was probably 15 years ago.
Well, I mean,
But this is a real scam that happens to real people all the time.
When I first started using email on a regular basis, I started getting all these emails. But let me tell you something. When that deposed exiled prince of Zamunda finally gets his throne back, I'm getting my $5,000 back, and you're going to be a little sorry that you didn't invest with me. So anyway, Thelma, and I'm so sorry to hear that happen to your step-grandma. That's horrible.
No, it's fine.
So Thelma gets she gets squeezed, she gets scammed, and you would think, oh well, there's nothing you can do about it. Well, Thelma says, fudge that. She concocts a plan.
She gets on her rascal and goes
to see an old friend played by the legendary, and I didn't know this was him in the trailer, the legendary Richard Roundtree. Do you know what Richard Roundtree is known for playing the most?
He's known for playing the most baddest mother around.
We're just talking about Shaft. Shaft.
It's Shaft.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Richard Roundtree plays an old friend who happens to have this, like, tricked out, awesome top-of-the-line scooter. And she tries to steal it, and she convinces him to go with her. So they're on this little road trip on the scooter to go to the address and get her money back. And like I said, it is like it's an action movie with senior citizens. It's got some really sweet and kind of sad parts. It touches on aging, how sometimes people can be forgotten, or underestimated. The cast is great. The cast is great. Malcolm McDowell's in it, and it's a really good cast. It's a really fun movie. It's very funny. You have to be patient with it. It's a little slow moving, but I will spoil. There is this great gag where she keeps running into these people, and she will always say, "Don't I know you?" And they'll talk about, like, I did this. Do you know this? It turns out she doesn't know them, like 2 or 3 times. Gladys? No. Okay, well, nice to meet you.
Oh,
so
that's so sweet. I'm going to have to watch that
tonight. You can catch it on Hulu and other places. My video movie corner pick of the week is Thelma. June Squibb, flippin' amazing. You might know her as Hubie Halloween's mom, and she was in the movie Nebraska. She is a legendary theater actress, and she finally got her due in the 2000s.
Okay.
In her 80s. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So, what is yours, sir?
Mine is one that you don't have to rush out and see if you don't want to. It's one of those you can take or leave.
No, I'm Okay.
Yeah, the extended version is up on Peacock right now. And honestly, I don't know if it knew what kind of movie it was trying to be, but it nailed some things.
Tell us what the thing's all about. Yes, tell us, Ebert. Or Siskel.
Yeah. It starts out with a bang. They're even giving shout outs to other action movies like Hudson Hawk, where he can't quite get his morning cup of coffee. And I don't know if there's probably other Easter eggs like that in the movie that I didn't know, but I know there was something else I can't remember offhand. But they're trying to make a movie within the movie, and they're trying to decide what the third act should be. And you're sitting here going, do they even know what the third act is going to be? Are they talking about, are we breaking the fourth wall here? It's, and I think that's kind of what they're trying to do, but they don't really stick to it. Really, they have some really good gags. They have some funny moments. I think Ryan Gosling is really, really good.
Ever since Breaker High.
Aaron Taylor Johnson's really good in this. Hold on one second.
Your fan club is shouting. So who else is good in this?
Okay, we're back. All right.
Aaron
Taylor Johnson's great in this. He plays the superstar who Ryan Gosling is the
because the stuntman gets to shine. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. He's not a very good guy.
Now, let me ask you this. We talked about this last night, Texas.
Yeah.
Is this not a movie version of the classic 80s TV series, The Fall Guy? And I'm being very serious.
Well, I think it's supposed to be. Maybe it started that way and then kind of went its own way, because they say at the end they have an end credit scene and they say, last episode on the the Fall Guy or whatever. So it's probably loosely based on that.
The Fall Guy was an 80s TV.
Yeah, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. There were some good wacky moments. There was some really wacky humor that, Hudson Hawk tried to do but failed. I feel like they got it right in this one for what they were trying to do. I just don't know if they just stuck to that. They didn't really stick to that. But there's some really good stunts, of course, because it is an action movie about a stunt guy. So, of course, there's going to be some crazy stunts. And everything you see in the movie that they're trying to do for the movie is a real stunt that they did. Even the impossible ones, like a 250-foot jump in a car or something like that, is something they pulled off for this. Yeah. And so it's kind of neat in that way. Like, it's kind of a show reel, if you will, to pass around and say, I think it would be passed as like a director's show reel. You could just pass this around as a movie to watch and say, I've got this under my belt. Oh, that's real good. But I like.
Do you think that Gosling did his own stunts to commit to the role?
I don't know. I know they had at the beginning of the credits. They had behind the scenes of the stunts and stuff like that, and it showed a stunt guy for him too.
And
but he's also on set.
On our text chain that you don't remember this show at all. No.
No, not at all. That is. I mean, if I knew about it back then, I've completely.
See, this was me and my sister. This is one of our favorite TV shows. I'm not sure when it started. It might have been like 82, 83. It probably lasted 4 or 5 seasons. It was Lee Majors, the $6.5 million man, and he was a stunt man, but his whole thing was off hours. He made money as a bounty hunter. So that was the action part. Yeah. Yes. And
Are you serious?
I have to do the theme song for you because it still sticks in my mind. He has this part that goes, and I'm the unknown stunt man that makes Redford look so good. Hey, Matches. Hey.
Hey, Shannon.
Listen, well, I've been in a bad place lately, and I didn't want to have to say this, but my synchronized capoeira partner broke up with me because she wanted to hit bigger heights and make the Olympics with some other guy, and I've been just feeling pretty bad, but I think I know what will make me feel better.
Oh, no. Oh, no, buddy. Suicide's never the answer.
No, I was going to join a ska band. That's why I'm wearing this tie. Jeez, don't get dark, buddy.
Oh.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I
thought... I'm sorry. Yeah, I was going to give you a hotline number. I'm so sorry.
I want to call the one that Zach Morris is on, the teen chat. But no, the thing is, we've been doing this podcast. How many episodes now? 13, 14? Yeah, for many years. Not for many months. And I've added up the cost of every show, and I figure I can probably make bank by the end of it. You owe me after all these shows. You want to know how much you owe me? You owe me $1 million. That's right, baby.
Oh, no.
No, inflation.
I thought it was $2.
Is a mother. Sorry, buddy.
Inflation. Oh, man.
Yeah,
inflation and greed.
Two things that make America not so great. I don't know, but I'll tell you what makes America great, and that is doing this show with you, Mr. Matches.
Oh, that's right. And doing the show with you, Mr. Shannon.
And welcome to the new year in just a few hours. It's gonna be good. You got good. You got hopes for 2025. Right. Good things in the can.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure.
I'm excited about the Coach reboot. Hey. You laughed when in 2018 or 19 there were serious plans for a Coach revival.
Oh, well, I mean, a revival's great. A reboot, we don't need.
See, okay, reboot, remake, I feel like people are mixing those. I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
They do. They mix them freely, even if they're wrong. They just say it out loud like they own it.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of being wrong,
we do things.
If the family of David Ogden Steers wants us to know how his name is pronounced correctly, how can they contact us?
They can contact us below here if they're watching on YouTube in the comments, below here if you're listening and watching, or on Spotify or Apple Music. And there's a comment section, I think, on Apple Podcasts. But also we have an email, and our email is NOMS podcast, NOMS podcast @gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you. We would love to hear from you.
We totally would love to hear from you. I mean, we won't hear from you if you get an email. We'll read from you, but we'll act like we're hearing from you. We'll do an interpretation.
That's right.
Well, hey, man. Welcome to the New Year matches. This has been fun so far. I can't wait to see what 2025 has in store for NOMS.
2025.
All right. Gosh. Well, we are going to be better off. Fred, out of here. Oh, it is?
The podcast is over.
Everybody go. Oh, real quick before we end, I'm so sorry. I forgot to talk about one of my favorite lines from the movie. He falls off a bridge into a garbage truck.
Okay.
And these two guys see
oh, my God, yes.
What a waste of a perfectly good white boy. Yep.
That's
and
right,
at the end of the credits, what does it say, Matches?
That was so good. It says, the movie's over. Go home.
Yep. That's good advice. Go home, everybody. We love you.
Okay, we did it.
Nom nom nom. Nom nom nom.